Welcome to EPG Pathashala. I am Ravi Korisettar, Senior Fellow, Dr. V.S. Wakankar, Archaeological Research Institute in Bhopal. In this presentation, we will be discussing the general characteristics of the Middle Paleolithic culture in the Indian subcontinent in the paper on pre- and proto-historic cultures of India and in the subject of Indian culture. The aim of this particular presentation is to give you an idea that in the region where we have found series of lower Paleolithic sites, we have also found Middle Paleolithic sites. What does it mean is that the lower and Middle Paleolithic sites occur together, and the fact that the Paleolithic period has been subdivided into distinctive cultural periods is identified on the basis of distinctive stone tool types. In the lower Paleolithic, the diagnostic tool types were hand axes and cleavers. But during the Middle Paleolithic period, there is a change in the typology as well as the technology of making stone tools. Here we see small implements and have been identified as scrapers, borers and points. And in addition to that, we also have a component of diminutive hand axes. This is the characteristics of the Middle Paleolithic assemblages that we have documented from a large number of sites in the Indian subcontinent. In addition to that, efforts have also been made to understand the chronological succession of Paleolithic cultures in the Indian subcontinent. While we have dated lower Paleolithic to the lower Pleistocene, it is also important for us to understand when exactly the lower Paleolithic comes to an end and gives rise to the Middle Paleolithic, and the manner in which the Middle Paleolithic populations adapted to distinctive environmental regions in India. And in addition to that, we also see increase in the number of Middle Paleolithic sites in the Indian subcontinent. So our effort will be to get a fairly general idea of the characteristics of the Middle Paleolithic time period as well as the life phase of the Middle Paleolithic communities in the Indian subcontinent. This map gives us an idea of the relationship between lower and Middle Paleolithic cultures as well as the fact that they are also equally widespread in the Indian subcontinent. So Sankalia identified Middle Paleolithic in the Pravara Valley and gave the name Nevasan, and also equated this Nevasan with Series 2 and Gravel 2 in the River Valley. And he also identified the fact that Middle Paleolithic was characterized by flake industry, including scrapers, points and borers. And then subsequent research carried out following the work of Sankalya in other parts of India gave rise to identifying regional variation based on the use of different varieties of raw materials. Raw materials included siliceous rocks like chert, chalcedony, jasper, agate, in addition to occasional use of quartzite and sandstone. Based on a series of investigations at a number of Middle Paleolithic sites, it was possible to identify early Middle Paleolithic and late Middle Paleolithic. Early Middle Paleolithic was characterized by the presence of Acheulean elements such as diminutive hand axes, whereas the late Middle Paleolithic has revealed a tendency towards production of blades leading to Upper Paleolithic tradition. The basic techniques that were involved in the production of Middle Paleolithic tools were Mousterian and Levallois techniques. The chronology of the Middle Paleolithic in the Indian subcontinent is bracketed between 125,000 years to 40,000 years ago. In other words, late Middle Pleistocene to Upper Pleistocene. In some of the Middle Paleolithic sites, gastropod shells have been also obtained, which have given us a date of about 23,000 BC. During the Middle Paleolithic period, we also see that these communities for the first time occupied caves and rock shelters. For example, Bhimbetka and Adamgarh in the Vindhya basin. Open air workshop sites of the Middle Paleolithic have also been identified at a number of sites in the Kaladgi basin, and Kovalli is one good example. Some of the riverine sites include Nevasa and Taminhal. Nevasa is in the Pravara Valley and Tamil Nadu is in the Malaprabha Valley. The gravels which contain Middle Paleolithic tools also have yielded some of the animal fossil bones of Bos, Bubalus and Equus, and as well as elephant fossils, Elephas namadicus variety. These are some of the examples of flake tools which included scrapers, single-sided scrapers, end scrapers, transverse scrapers, points and double scrapers and so on, made from flakes detached from larger cores using Levallois technology as well as Mousterian technology. And the flakes were subject to secondary retouch. As a result, working edges were obtained along the sides of the flake. Nevasa has been considered a type site in the context of the study of Middle Paleolithic sites for a very long time in the Indian subcontinent. This because of the pioneering studies carried out by H.T. Sankalia. And subsequently, the sites in the Pravara Valley and further south in the northern Karnataka region covering the Kaladgi basin were carried out by Banerjee and Corvinus. As mentioned earlier, we have some Middle Paleolithic sites in the context of rock shelters, particularly in the Indian region. Amongst them, Adamgarh was one of the early sites where Middle Paleolithic excavations were carried out by R.V. Joshi. Subsequently, another site which is more popular amongst prehistorians is Bhimbetka rock shelters 3F23. In the Narmada Valley, 2 or 3 very important sites have been identified, and these sites were also subject to detailed investigations during the last 30 years and earlier. Adamgarh rock shelter is one of the primary context Middle Paleolithic sites in India, where the artifacts have been found in the sandy clay deposit, and the artifacts were made from local quartzite, and the types include chopping tools, hand axes, scrapers, points and borers. Excavations in the Bhimbetka region at 3F23 and associated rock shelters have also given development of evidence regarding the development of Middle Paleolithic out of the local Acheulean, where predominantly Levallois method of detaching flakes from cores was employed, and the tools included scrapers, denticulates, knives made from local quartzite. Somnapur is another site which occurs in an hill slope context. It was an excavated site during the 1980s and has been identified as a primary context factory site with local quartzite, dolerite and chalcedony raw materials were used for making stone artifacts of the Middle Paleolithic category. In the Nimar district of Madhya Pradesh, a large number of Middle Paleolithic sites have been found in the context of surface occurrences, and the chief raw materials that were used for making tools were quartzite and chert. These are examples of the sites in the Bhimbetka region. The rock shelters that have formed in the Vindhyan sandstone are shown in this particular site. This is an excavated trench at 3F23 that was excavated by V.N. Mishra. And here there is a continuous sequence of Lower Paleolithic, Middle Paleolithic and Upper Paleolithic phases revealed by gradual change in the typology of artifacts from lower levels to the upper levels. In the Tape Valley, a large number of open-air Middle Paleolithic sites have been found, and here the emphasis was given to using cryptocrystalline silica rocks such as jasper, chert and so on, and the region being largely covered by the basalts, the basalt rock was also occasionally used for making tools. Further westwards into Saurashtra, in the Orsang Valley, several sites have also been systematically documented. It has been inferred that the Middle Paleolithic developed out of the late Acheulean tradition in the region. And then there are series of sites which indicate this transition from Lower Paleolithic to the Middle Paleolithic. The sites include Sagdra, Pipia and Bascario. Artifacts were made from quartzite, and the types included scrapers, end scrapers, side scrapers, notches, miniature hand axes and points, and also miniature cleavers, etc. It has been tentatively dated to the late Middle Pleistocene to early Upper Pleistocene in that particular region. Sites from Rajasthan. Rajasthan is one of the regions which has been subject to investigations on the Middle Paleolithic for a very, very long time. The early work in the Luni Valley by V.N. Mishra has led to identifying a distinctive Middle Paleolithic industry which has been termed Luni industry. Here again, typologically, the artifacts are comparable to the distinctive types such as scrapers, borers, notches and points and so on. But the use of cryptocrystalline silica material is preferred in this particular region. The Banas River Valley has also given evidence of Middle Paleolithic assemblages associated with gravel too. Sites such as Bhutia, Hazra Keri, Beaver and Champa Keri have yielded a large number of scraper tools as well as hand axes made from chert, jasper, quartzite, sandstone and so on. Levallois technology for producing flake tools has also been documented from this area. Barmer district's tools were largely made on jasper. The important sites in Rajasthan area include Pushkar and Didwana in Nagaur district, particularly at Sixtinar, Singitalau, Sojat, and also sites from further east of Rajasthan into western Madhya Pradesh in the river valleys such as Chambal Basin. Several sites have also been known, and also from other regions in Rajasthan, the sites come from Jaisalmer district, particularly at Bojka and Pokhran. This slide shows the representative tool types that have been found from Rajasthan region, Luni Valley as well as Wagan Valley in that particular area. In eastern India, sites in Bihar are of particular interest to us because it is eastern extension of the Vindhyan basin as well, and Vindhyas are known for the availability of suitable raw materials such as quartzite, sandstone, chert, jasper and other varieties of cryptocrystalline silica. There is suspected occurrence of Middle Paleolithic tools in the Garo Hills area, but systematic study of the material from Garo Hills is still in the infancy. In Orissa, at sites like Keonjhar, Dhenkanal and in Sundargarh districts, a large number of Middle Paleolithic sites have been documented, and they have also yielded typical Middle Paleolithic tools made from cryptocrystalline silica as well as limestone and quartz. In the Yamuna Valley, for a very long time, this region was known to be devoid of Paleolithic sites. But in recent years, the site of Kalpi has yielded a lithic assemblage which is been identified as Middle Paleolithic. And they have also produced an IRSL date of this particular assemblage going back to about 45,000 years ago. Here also, a large number of animal fossils, especially the fossil bone of an elephant tusk, has also been recovered from excavations, indicating the fact at the time of Middle Paleolithic occupation, this area experienced humid climate. Kortalayar Basin research is assuming increasing importance because of systematic investigations that have been carried out in the region. Multidisciplinary investigations have helped us establish an absolute time frame for the succession of Paleolithic cultures in this area, and as of Middle Paleolithic culture, the late Pleistocene age has been assigned to in this region. Here, the excavators have also observed that the lower and Middle Paleolithic artifacts occur together as well as separately. These sites are in the context of Gondwana formations, where we have occurrence of quartzite, sandstone and other cryptocrystalline variety of raw materials that was suitable for making Middle Paleolithic artifacts. Prepared core or Levallois technique was dominant in the way in which the flakes were detached from the cores. Diminutive hand axes, which are common in southern Indian early Middle Paleolithic, are also found in the Kortalayar basin. This slide presents the distribution of Middle Paleolithic sites in the southeast coast, particularly in the Kortalayar region, where the site of Attirampakkam has been subject to detailed investigations, and the succession from lower to Middle Paleolithic have been systematically documented. And this slide also presents the excavated area as well as some of the examples of scrapers belonging to the Middle Paleolithic period. Other South Indian Middle Paleolithic sites include Ramayogi Agraharam along the Visakhapatnam coast, and Srisailam Plateau, Kadapa Basin, as well as the lower Krishna Valley, where the site of Nagarjunakonda has been subject to investigations, and a succession of Paleolithic cultures have been documented. In the Srisailam Plateau, open-air sites mixed with lower Paleolithic assemblages have also been found along the Vavanasi, Tagileru, Gundlakamma and Sagileru river valleys. These sites have been systematically surveyed, and assemblages from these sites have been studied from the point of view of typology and technology. Further northwest of the Kadapa Basin into Karnataka region, the Shorapur Doab sites are equally important, where in the Hunski Valley, the Middle Paleolithic sites are found in contiguity with the Lower Paleolithic sites. Here again, what we see distinctive difference between Lower and Middle Paleolithic is the use of raw materials. While limestone was extensively used during the Lower Paleolithic period, during the Middle Paleolithic period, we see switch over to chert particularly for making Middle Paleolithic tools. In the Deccan Trap area, although the Middle Paleolithic research was pioneered in the Pravara River Valley, the distribution of Middle Paleolithic tools is tied up with the distribution of Lower Paleolithic sites. Both these sites are sparsely distributed across the Deccan Plateau, particularly the region covered by the Deccan Volcanic Province. Further south of the Deccan Volcanic Province, when we enter into the Kaladgi Basin, which is also in the southwestern contiguity of the Bhima Basin, where the sites in the Hunski Valley have been reported, the Kaladgi Basin research also has documented occurrence of a large number of Middle Paleolithic sites, not only in the context of Lower Paleolithic, but also distinctive Middle Paleolithic sites have also been reported in a variety of geomorphic contexts. Particularly along the hill slopes, large number of Middle Paleolithic factory sites have been found. And the site of Kovalli as well as the Benkaneri site near the Lakmapur Acheulean site are representative examples. In addition to that, this region has also yielded hundreds of Middle Paleolithic sites in the region. But most interesting research in southern India relating to the Middle Paleolithic has been carried out in the southwestern part of the Kadapa Basin, which is known as Kurnool Sub-Basin. Here, for the first time, series of Middle Paleolithic sites have been noticed in the context of 74,000 years ago volcanic ash layer. In the Jureri Valley particularly, at near the village of Jolapuram, series of excavations were conducted in the recent past, and for the first time, underneath the volcanic ash layer, Middle Paleolithic flake tools have been recovered. As a result, it has now been possible to date the antiquity of the Middle Paleolithic to 80,000 years ago. The Homo sapiens who have been assigned the Middle Stone Age status in Africa, and the comparability of Middle Paleolithic and Middle Stone Age artifacts between India and Africa has given us a new clue to the fact that expansion of modern humans into the Indian subcontinent occurred much earlier than it was thought. So the work carried out at Jolapuram has gained significance in the context of the ongoing debate of the timing of the exit of Homo sapiens out of Africa. The Middle Paleolithic tool assemblages that have been found here were largely made on locally occurring limestone and other cryptocrystalline variety of rocks. Distinctive preference for high quality raw materials has been well documented in the context of Jalapuram investigations. So, Jireri Valley is in the Kurnool district, about 15 kilometers south of Banganpalle town, and this valley is this river valley is a tributary of the Kunderu river basin. So, as mentioned earlier, recent investigations have identified the presence of lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic and upper Paleolithic in an area of about 2000 acres. This slide gives you an idea of the variety of stone tools, flake tools, blade tools, microblades, so on and so forth. This slide presents the context in which Middle Paleolithic stone tools have been found at Jalapuram in the Jireri Valley. Particularly at locality number 3, the thick ash bed that is shown here goes to a depth of nearly 2.5 meters. Underneath this ash bed, within the silt deposits, a horizon containing flake tools made from limestones of the Middle Paleolithic category were documented for the first time. This ash has been dated to about 74,000 years ago. Naturally, the artifacts underlying this particular dated ash are older than the ash bed itself. So, as a result, for the first time we have been able to date the Middle Paleolithic to at least 74,000 years ago. In conclusion, we can say that many Middle Paleolithic sites are found in the same areas of Lower Paleolithic occupation. When compared to the Lower Paleolithic sites, the number of Middle Paleolithic sites are few in number. There was a shift in raw material into more siliceous variety. In other words, preference to high quality raw materials. Older tool types continued in diminutive sizes along with the new variety of flake tool assemblages. In this presentation, we have focused our attention on the distinctive phase of the Paleolithic, which has been designated Middle Paleolithic. This Middle Paleolithic is associated with the emergence of Homo sapiens and expansion of Homo sapiens out of Africa. The technology that was invented by the Homo sapiens, which is identified as Middle Stone Age technology, is represented by flake tools and also emphasis on the use of high quality raw materials including chert, jasper, agate and such other materials. The discovery of Middle Paleolithic sites in India and Africa, as well as the associated assemblages and their comparative study, has given us clues to the fact that there is a direct relationship between the emergence of Homo sapiens in Africa and exit of Homo sapiens out of Africa into other parts of the Indian subcontinent. As a result of the dating that has been made at site like Jalapuram, it has now been possible to suggest that Homo sapiens exited Africa much earlier than 50,000 years, which was until recently the time that was identified as the entry of modern humans into the Indian subcontinent. Thank you, and for more details, please refer to the e-text.